Don't look too bad, but I think we can do a little bit better. Let's see. Then there's this trunk. Let's see. So you want to know how I did it so fast, huh? Yeah, I get it. We've got lots to do. Better get at it. It happens to be April the 20th. Come on. 5:25, April 20th. PM. We got lots to clean up. This all been 415 at one time. I'm going to scotch it all down because we want that green. We want that green. We want that green. All inside there. Not the frame rails, so there's masking. Yeah, there's stuff to do. Stuff to get cleaned up. A little bit of fixing here and there. There's, you know, bolt holes that are for the splash shields, and, you know, we got stuff to do. So let's get at it. We got one night. Get that and that painted. I figure I'll fix my vacuum so I can vacuum stuff out. Yep. Got some fresh plastic on her. Got the vacuum fixed. Just took the filter out there and beat it on a tree 1,300 times, and I really need a new vacuum, so no, a new filter won't, you know. Anyway, plan is, before I did that, to protect the rest of the car, is to keep it from getting dusty, I guess. Covered it with plastic, then I'm going to take razor blade, cut the plastic right around the edge of where I want to mask it, then mask it. We got to mask around this because we got to paint in here, paint in here. Same with the trunk. All right, I'm going to have to cover that up, filler tube hole, with some masking tape underneath the plastic so it doesn't creep out underneath my plastic, get on my primer. Not a big deal, just more sanding I'll have to do. All this plastic is, go to your big box hardware store, buy that stuff right there. It's for painting stuff, you know. The cool thing is, it tells you what side to tape it on, like if you're going to tape at the bottom of a floor and then it pulls out. Well, if you have that tape line where it's marked on the edge of the plastic facing up to you, the static just keeps it right on the car. You know, pretty neat stuff. I have a roll of 3M over there behind my trash pile, and that's for painting cars, and it's more expensive, but I'm going to use this for this sort of thing for now. Alright, turn you back on in a minute. Seems to work a lot better. Anyhow, scraped and just kind of knocked stuff loose and vacuumed up all the crevices, everything as good as I can. We're going to vacuum and blow out 32 times, so it's, you know, good enough. Now all this has been 415. There's a couple knickknacks I'm going to take off. Scruff it all down. We want to leave the frame rails black. That needs to be green. That needs to be green. And right here, green, green, green. Now you'll be able to see through the grill, so I want this pretty, you know, decentish. Trunk is going to take a little bit of a different approach. It's going to need scrub down. It's going to need some new seam sealer. I scraped all the loose stuff out I could get. So what I want to do is edge it with a little bit of 415, let that set up. Then we'll do our, you know, our special seam sealer and get it all that coated up. After we get all this prepped, sanded down, good as we can get it, right? We're doing as good as we can, you know. It's not a show car.
What's an honest man to do? I know you want the finer things that only we'll forget the day we took our wedding vows. Left that little country church and headed into town. We checked into the motel to spend our honeymoon. Next morning when I woke up, you chased me out the room. It's back to work, work, work. That's all I ever do now, honey. Work, 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 just to get along with you. Work, 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 stay real ways out of money. Work, 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 what's an honest man to do? Now if I lost my job, dear, would you love me just the same? If I only had $1 bill left to my name. Yeah, take that bill and tell me you'll love me for all time. To prove it, you go out and spend every single dime. It's back to work, work, work. That's all I ever do now, honey. Work, 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 just to get along with you. Work, 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 stay real ways out of money. Work, 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 what's an honest man to do? Work, 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 what's an honest man to do?
I got her clean as I'm gonna get her clean. 415, just a little wee bit. Urethane reducer, and I'm probably gonna mix it 1 to 1 pretty much. I want it thin. That's probably more than 1 to 1, but that's all right. That way this stuff will, I'm just kind of using this as a primer before I do seam sealing, right? It's thin, it'll go down and creep into the little stuff, right? The little crevices, kill or encapsulate any rust. And because it's thin, it'll do that, and because it's thin, it will dry pretty quick. So let me get this on there. Yep, all my joints and all the hard places to get to way up inside here, got them all 415. Let that stuff set up a little bit, and I'll get some seam sealers on there. I might even use the real stuff on Ralph's car. I'll use the experimental stuff on mine. Well, I'm tempted to use the experimental stuff though. All right, while that's setting up, I'll go ahead and start cleaning this up. Man, this might be the chore. 1047. Man, all right, getting the 415s mixed up. I just did about 20-25% reducer. Of course, I have more than I need. I'll show you what we got going on. Everything's cleaned up. 415'd up inside some places that I knew would be hard to spray on, so at least we have the protections. All right, that's what this is more about than show car stuff. Scuffed up all in the weather strip channels. Covered up the little 1600 there. So we're going to get the greens down best we can inside them frame rails, and that's going to be it. And up here, all right. Trunk, it's all seam sealed, wiped down with grease remover. Should be dry and ready to go. Let me get some of that on these, and I'll turn you back on. Well, light coat 415. It just kind of amazes me how you can clean and clean and blow and vacuum and clean, and you still get stuff in it. It is what it is. Again, if we were doing it differently, I would have done all this while the body was off the car, and we'd have sandblasted or soda blasted it and replaced all the metal, but we didn't. So here we are. There we go. Just a light coat. You can still see the surface rust, but that stuff's going to eat into that surface rust. Man, this stuff sticks better to surface rust than it does bare metal. I'll show you that sometime. I can prove that to you. So it likes the rusty stuff. All right, I'll get some green on here. There's a little junk in it, but it is Junk's Automotive, so I don't know what you guys expect, but looks good to me. There's some oozing and groozing here and there, but it's tough to paint stuff like this. At least that's gonna look pretty good. This is gonna look pretty good. You know, the grill's you're gonna have stuff, and it's gonna be a whole thing. Our edges are done, so that way when the hood's on, the doors are on, which next week we'll do the door jambs and the inside of the cockpit a little bit. All those edges are gonna be overlapped, so when we block it out, they'll be gone. Then when we paint it, we'll back tape all the joints, obviously, and it should work out just fine. That's the plan anyway. Not shabby. Maybe a little shabby, but it's shiny shabby, right? You know. And all I did, of course, it was rust pitted. Of course, we loaded it up with a little bit of Pour 15, 2 coats of paint, and 2 really heavy wet coats of clear. And that stuff's gonna shrink down a little bit, but it's gonna be nicer than, say, if I just did thin coats and was done. Yeah. Ralph will be tickled with it. So that's what matters. Oh, man. Well, tell you what, guys, another night, Junk's Automotive. It's tough sometimes to not have enough time and squeeze stuff in and get things done. But there you go. I mean, right now it's same night. I'd prove it to you, but I can't find my phone. You guys trust me anyway, right? It's about 12:30. So from 5, 6 o'clock till 12, however many hours that is, we've got this done. So it's not so much that it's a concourse restoration, because it's not, and never was supposed to be. This was all going to be Pour 15 black and left alone. Door jambs, everything. But I wanted to try this process and see if it works, and I think it works pretty good. For a guy like me, and maybe a guy like you or a gal, that, you know, you got a Saturday night or a Sunday to work on your car, and that's all you got. You know, you don't have time to disassemble the whole entire car, have it all soda blasted, you know, epoxy paint it, and then later when you want to paint it, you got to sand all that down and body work all the insides and make it perfect. You know, you can do that. If that's what you want to do, you got the time, you got the money, and you want to do that, you do that. This is how I do it. And so I think it's an interesting way to look at getting things done pretty quickly and just, you know, knocking it out. You know, like, and this isn't my car, and I'm doing this, believe me, I'm doing this better than I would my car, because it's Ralph's. It's not because he's paying me $1 million to restore a car to a perfect condition. That's not the deal. The deal originally was make it run. Yeah, I'm the one who said, hey, we got to paint this thing. You know, it's turning out nice. It's going to be a cool cruiser. So anyhow, I'm thinking that I need to get a jump ahead by a week. So come next Sunday at noon, and you don't see a video from me, it's because that way I can record it, get my work done and record it, and then after that go to bed. Usually I'm going to stay up 2 or 3 more hours editing, coming up with a thumbnail, getting it uploaded, so that way come noon tomorrow when you see this video pop up, it'll be there. But I'm thinking for the channel, for the videos, if I can spend a week's time editing here and there, making up a couple different thumbnails, you know, I think we can do a better job on that end to help the channel, because the channel's got to grow. Channel doesn't grow, and it's slowly growing, but we got to figure out a way for me to get to that next step. You know, it's pretty important to me that it succeeds, right? Mostly so that you guys can still see these silly videos that I do on a Saturday night. Anyhow, hope you guys have a great week. Again, if you don't see it, I'll give a heads up or something, some kind of postie or a short video or something. You guys will know if there's not going to be one. And you know, I got some thinking to do. Nothing's set in stone just yet. But hey, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. Leave me a comment, a like, share on your WhatsAppy, Facebook, Twitter, tweet, TikTok. I don't know. You know, let's keep this thing going so we can come back and hang out together once a week. Man, have a great time, because that's what this is about. It's about fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. All right. See you guys next week, maybe, huh? Junk out. Oh, I got bad feet. Oh, what is that? Oh well.